Today I'm sharing three very important lessons I learned from growing to 30,000 visits to our website per month. Hi, my name is Matt from autogrow.co, and welcome to another episode of Matt Hacks, where in 10 minutes or less, I share with you some marketing tips to make you more awesome and otherwise accelerate your creativity and entrepreneurial spirit. So today I'm talking about the three lessons that I learned from growing our website to 30,000 visits per month. So let's dive into it. I'm going to share my screen. So first off, the proof is in the pudding. And here you go. You can see that for the last 30 days, we have crossed the 31,000 visit threshold. So that means that we're averaging over 1,000 visits to our website per day. Now let's hop into the three lessons that I want to share with you. So, three lessons that I learned from growing to 30,000 visits. Well, the first lesson is that publishing frequency accelerates your growth, but beware of email list burnout. So first, what do I mean by publishing frequency? Well, I'm referring to how often you actually put out content on your blog. So in our case, we went from publishing once per week. Every Tuesday, we would put out one in-depth guide or resource on our blog. We went from doing that once a week to now we're publishing 5 times per week, so that we're still putting out that in-depth guide or resource every Tuesday. But we're also, on the other 4 days of the week, we're posting these Matt Hacks videos where I'm getting on camera with you, I'm sharing the journey, I'm answering common questions, and I'm in general, looking to give you actionable tips that are going to make you more marketing awesome, as I like to say, and accelerate your creativity and entrepreneurial spirit. So we're publishing more often by a factor of 5. We went from 1 to 5, and that seemed to have the biggest impact on our growth as we started this process about 6 weeks ago. Where we were publishing, and then traffic really picked up after that. It was, we grew by, I believe we were at 23,000 visits, and we grew and surpassed 31,000 visits, as you can see. And when we started to do that, for the first 2 weeks, we were actually sending an email newsletter every single weekday with the content that we were coming out for that day. However, what I started to notice was that engagement would drop. In other words, the open rate started to go down and the click rate started to go down. And I believe that it would have gotten to a point where it would have leveled off and would have kind of stabilized. But I knew that for our business, I don't want an email list of subscribers who, 99% of them aren't interested because most of the time, for whatever reason, the topic isn't relevant to them. Because we have across over 12,000 subscribers that we have now that are active, we have a lot of different interests, and we have the list fairly segmented as well. And I know from my own experience, from all the newsletters that I'm subscribed to, I read very few of them. So, and the reason why I read very few of them is that I only trust a few people to put out really high quality content that is also very relevant to me. So in order to have a better relationship with our list, I decided to segment it out. We created a separate email list just for these Matt Hacks videos and put the people on there that directly were subscribing to get them. And this way the engagement rate stabilized at a higher level for that email list that was more interested in the first place. And we would still send, for the entire newsletter email list every Tuesday. So that's why I say beware of list burnout, because you want people to open your emails, right? And you want to be relevant. Otherwise, you're just going to get ignored in the long run. People are busy. So you want to do your best to maintain that relationship and put out quality stuff so that people trust you. The next lesson, number 2, is that titles matter as much as content. So what I found was really a real-life demonstration of Pareto's 80-20 principle, which says that statistically speaking, you're going to get 80% of your results from just 20% of your efforts. In our case, from putting out these videos and putting out a lot more content a lot more frequently, this became even more clear because certain videos, and because we put out the video with the transcript on the website and any additional resources, screenshots, etc. But with each blog post that we put out, some performed really, really well and others much better. So, for example, one that performed really well was titled, "This Dumb Lead Magnet Idea Added 1,500 Subscribers to Our Email List." So that title by itself apparently was great and very effective because a lot of people clicked through to actually watch the video and read the transcript and even take action, to the point where we started getting feedback about it and people writing us back weeks later giving an update as to that they had actually take action on it and the results that they were getting. So titles are a really key point of leverage, and I think that from observing this data, it shows that there's much more room for improvement as far as just writing better titles that are going to give people, entice people to actually want to open our emails more often and click through, because our content is really, really valuable. So I want to do the best job that I can to sell it to our audience. So titles matter as much as the content. And lesson number 3, people trust people, not brands or the big anonymous we, as I like to say. So in some of our blog posts, we'll use the word we, kind of referring to the team and I, but more often than not, I use I in talking in the first person when I'm trying to illustrate a story or a case study or something that I personally did. So people like to connect with people, and I know this for a fact because it is reflected in our ROI. In other words, I've noticed a direct relationship. Even before we started doing these videos every single weekday, I did some tests where some days I would send out a video and some days I wouldn't add a video, and I noticed very clearly that sales would go up on the days where we actually had a video. And I can tell now that that is because people like to connect with people, and video is a medium for us to interact, go back and forth, where I'm answering your questions, giving actionable tips. People prefer to consume it that way, but also it just humanizes our business by getting on camera. It humanizes our business and it builds the connection, it builds that trust that much more, so that when I make an offer to you or another member of our audience, you are more likely to be enticed by that offer, you're more likely to want to check it out and even buy that offer and invest in it, because you know that we're willing to get on camera and we're just being that much more personal by kind of putting ourselves out there and being transparent. You see me sharing a lot of data and being as transparent as possible in these videos. So again, that builds trust and people connect with people. Of all the brands online that I don't buy from versus the ones that I do, I can tell you that it's often because the founder or someone on the team is just being that much more personal in the way that they're either telling stories, getting on camera, or even in writing, in the way that they write their blog posts. So quick recap. Lesson number 1 from growing to 30,000 visits: publishing frequency accelerates your growth, but beware of that email list burnout. Lesson number 2, titles matter as much, if not more, than the content. And lesson number 3, people trust people, not big anonymous brands, not the almighty anonymous we. All right. So if you want to take it to the next level and never miss another Matt Hacks video, be sure to subscribe. If you're on YouTube, click on the red subscribe button right over here, directly below this video. And in the description, there's also a link where you can pop in your email address and we'll notify you whenever a new Matt Hacks video comes out. We're covering a different level in your funnel every single week. We go through traffic. The next week we focus on email list building. And the week after that, we focus on sales. And finally, upsells, downsells, and otherwise maximizing your customer, the value of your customer relationships. All right. So make sure to subscribe. If you're on our blog, there's also a link directly below this video to pop in your email address. Until next time, when we go over a great example from HubSpot on how to do email outreach for links, until next time, tomorrow's video. Until next time, I am Matt Ack and the Mad Hat, delivering you your daily dose of Mad Hacks. Keep hustling, stay focused. Talk soon.